brutal heat of summer in Louisiana is in full swing alongside CPKC's Vicksburg subdivision. But despite high humidities and temperatures veering towards the triple digits, we would still spend multiple occasions trackside to see what we can find. June 23rd finds us in Simsboro as daily westbound I-167 slithers over the hilly terrain. This is a half-manifest, half-intermodal train that originates on the Norfolk Southern in Atlanta, making way for the growing intermodal facilities of Wiley, Texas, just outside of Dallas. A trio of Southern Bell locomotives lead the charge, with Thundercab SD70 ACE number 4007 leading the charge. In the last month or two, we've noticed that 167 has started running with DPUs either on the rear of the train or in the middle, such as Canadian Pacific 8905 here. Today the DPU is splitting the huge cut of mixed freight from the intermodal containers. Here in Simsboro, there's a spur that branches off of the siding track into a over 140-acre property that CPKC often spots rock trains into. From research I've done online, the only thing that I could really find is that it can hold up to 50 cars and is owned by a contract construction company. A rock train has been serving the spur, and once the 167 is clear, the engineer of the CP 9811 pulls the train out of the complex. What caught our eye was the trailing motor CP 7021. This is one of 5 locomotives unveiled in 2019 to honor those who served in the Canadian and U.S. militaries. '7021 specifically is in a desert sand coat of paint that pays tribute to recent combat within the desert regions of the Middle East. The locomotive is one of the SD70 ACUs, which were rebuilt from the outdated and obsolete SD9043s. We were working our way toward Shreveport that evening, so we continued westward before the scanner indicated an eastbound. So we managed to hop off of Interstate 20 and set up at milepost 137 in the small community of Dubberly. General Electric AC-44 KCS 4507 has a highball through town as it leads a loaded train of military vehicles eastward. I'm not sure on the origin point of this train, but it's common sight for military trains to be seen on the speedway in the summer months for trainings. You'll often see loads bound for Camp Shelby in Mississippi heading eastbound. There's also a chance that these came from Fort Johnson, formerly Fort Polk, in Leesville, Louisiana, but like I said, I'm just not sure. It's usually a guessing game when it comes to military trains for us. Flash forward to July 4th, Independence Day. While I had plans to shoot fireworks and truly celebrate our nation once the sun went down, I had a clear schedule until then, so I made way for Monroe and found eastbound I-166 waiting patiently in the Magenta siding. Its westbound counterpart, I-167, would race through before it could take the main line again. Two of the top paint schemes in railroading history would be paired together up front: KCS Southern Belle and Santa Fe War Bonnet. Rail fans refer to these motors as fake bonnets, and the reason why is the BNSF lettering on the side of the engine. These engines were still in production at the time of the mega merger between the Burlington Northern and ATSF, so during production the lettering was given the acronym of the new road. Though luckily for our friends buffing on the BNSF, there's still a decent amount of pure war bonnets with true Santa Fe lettering roaming the rails. Add on to the already colorful locomotive consist, a armor yellow GE of the Union Pacific brings up the rear on DPU duties. I-166 now has the main line and will now continue its long journey to Atlanta. Norfolk Southern GEVO locomotives 8140 and 8142 lead the charge back to their home rails. Intermodal traffic between Atlanta and the Dallas metroplexes make up a sizable portion of the freight traffic on the CPKC Meridian Speedway. Kansas City Southern and Norfolk Southern formed a joint venture in the mid-2000s to revitalize the former Mid-South route into a critical intermodal artery. Since the formation of CPKC, the future has brightened for this stretch of main line. Along with the already significant intermodal traffic from Norfolk Southern as well as Union Pacific, late June would find the announcement of CPKC's new automotive facility in Wiley opening for business. While much of the auto rack traffic will likely be sent south to Mexico or north towards Kansas City and beyond, I'm willing to bet that the Speedway will be seeing an increase in automotive traffic to and from the Wiley facility. Later in the day would find us at milepost 38 in the Shanning siding at Dunn. While seemingly a small village with little to note, Dunn is the home of a Lamb Weston facility. For those not familiar, Lamb Weston is a major supplier for potato products such as French fries. The facility here in town was actually the first large-scale plant that was entirely dedicated to the processing of sweet potatoes. Unfortunately, Lamb Weston has no rail access, but Dunn sees its fair share of rail action in the form of meats. Eastbound intermodal I-168 was following R-166, but has been given orders to take the siding to allow a westbound to pass. A rather short M267 from Mississippi is heading for Monroe, where it will be making several pickups to continue onward to Shreveport. The 267 is cleared just as fast as it arrived, and the conductor for 168 has climbed back aboard. 168 is yet another intermodal from Wiley, bound for Atlanta. Currently, the Speedway has 4 daily trains that are traversing between the two locations: 166, 167, 168, and 169. A fitting way to end my day of train watching on Independence Day would be to send off the 168 as it crossed the mighty Mississippi River in Vicksburg. One week later, after work, I find myself in Arcadia. I had caught word that the Kansas City Southern Veterans locomotive number 4006 was on the lead of our daily manifest M267. After narrowly missing it in Ruston, I was able to catch the locomotive here in Arcadia due to a defect detector picking up a hot bearing. The manifest stopped in the next town over for the conductor to inspect the train, and after resolving the issue, M267 was back on the move and Shreveport bound. We managed to leapfrog ahead of the 4006 in Ada, where the newly constructed Bienville Lumber sawmill is busy at work. Owned by Hunt Forest Products, Bienville Lumber began operations in the first quarter of this year. While currently there is no rail service, it does appear that they are clearing some land for a potential spur. I'll definitely be keeping close tabs on any developments, and I will definitely keep y'all posted. While a younger version of myself would have chased this train all the way to Shreveport, I had a busy day of work scheduled the following morning, so I'd part ways with the 267 and head home. But not before one more westbound. You've seen a lot of intermodal in this video, and that's how we're going to end it as well. Right on the tail of 267 is I-169 with a recent DC to AC Norfolk Southern motor on the lead. I hope that y'all have enjoyed another action video along the Vicksburg subdivision. These videos are rather easy for me to produce given that I live minutes from the main line, so if you want to keep seeing more, leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until the next time, my friends, I'll be seeing you somewhere out there along the rails, and as always, thanks for watching.